Hello everyone and welcome to Sportstar. We are here at the end of the first test between India and South Africa. And as you all might have known by now, India was beaten by South Africa by 30 runs in a very nervy final third day. A lot of things to unpack here. Primarily, of course, the chatter is about the nature of the pitch, the unpredictability of the bounce. The general consensus before the match was that this was going to be a very stable surface, a little bit of assistance for the pacers in the beginning, and then spinners will take over later on. The expectation was for the match to last 5 days, but as you can see, it finished in 3 days. I think as the top player of the surface came out, the bounce became extremely unpredictable. I think none of the batters, except for a few individual performances, could figure out the way the pitch was behaving. Speaking about that exceptional batting performance, the primary one is of course Temba Bavuma. The South African skipper scored a 50, the only 50 of the match in the second innings for South Africa, and his knock proved to be the difference for South Africa. What could have been a target of say 90 or 80 for India became 124, which in the end proved to be too much for the team to handle. For India, a lot of questions to ponder. They did experiment with the playing 11. They went in with four spin options, sacrificing Sai Sudarshan at number 3 and promoting Washington Sundar up the order. Washington Sundar did really bat well across both innings. He played. I think he's the only player to play more than 150 balls deliveries in this particular test. He was the only one who looked slightly in comfort in the second inning in the chase for India. But yeah, it was not enough for India to pull across. On the bowling front, India had a couple of great performances, particularly Jasprit Bumrah's fifer in the first innings, a masterclass of seam bowling. And then in the second innings, Jadeja's left arm spin. India looked pretty much in control for most of the test, you could say that. Although you could probably argue that it was not helped by the fact that Captain Shubman Gill did not bat or had to retire out after just 3 balls in the first innings and did not take part in the game for the entirety. With Gill, India could have gained say like 10 or 20 more runs, and maybe that could have made the difference. But yeah, that's the way sport works. You can't really predict how things turn out. Rishabh Pant did not have a great game with the bat. Dhruv Jurel tried a bit to go aggressive, but failed. KL Rahul batted well in the first innings, but struggled against the extra bounce of Jansen in the second innings, similar to Yashasvi Jaiswal. A lot of things to unpack here. India has a good window of time before the Guwahati test to reconsider their options. I don't think India will particularly change their playing combination. Considering how well Washington batted in a very difficult situation and condition. But yeah, in terms of the effectiveness with the bat, in terms of playing spin, a lot of questions will be there for India to consider. If you take away, for example, if you take away the West Indies series, India, this is the 4th consecutive big loss for India at home, counting back from the 3-0 whitewash against New Zealand. So yeah, a lot of things to unpack for India. Despite the truncated nature of the test, just under 3 days being played, it was quite exciting for the home crowd here. The stands were pretty much full for all the 3 days, and the crowd was extremely supportive, especially when Bavuma got to his 50. There was a roar of applause. It was a very sporting gesture from the crowd. A lot of things like that, a lot of tiny moments. So yeah, that's it from the first test.